Coming up, Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul is official. The two men will throw down in a 185-pound boxing match this coming summer. Also, this weekend, Arnold Allen will face off against Max Holloway in a featherweight fight which could determine the next number one contender in the 145-pound division. My name is Frank Bonada, here for the MMA Stream, joined once again by Murdo Todd. This is becoming a regular thing now. We're already in the aftermath of UFC 287. That's already happened, but there are a couple of big news stories breaking this week. But first of all, how are you doing today, Murdo?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Bit shocked, surprised. I don't know how you want to describe it, but yesterday we had Jake Paul versus Nate Diaz officially announced. 8 rounds, 185 pounds, 10-ounce gloves, I believe. Well, I mean, you're shaking your head already, mate. What are your thoughts on
You know I'm not a fan of this nonsense. That's what it is. Nonsense, isn't it, really? But listen, I think Paul realized, well, he might not. I think people maybe around him realize that he's not a particularly good boxer. Let's have it real. I know he spoke about fighting other professionals. That's not going to happen. So he's going to go for
Canelo.
Washed up MMA fighters, as he kind of has done in the past. Listen, I think it'll be a big event. I think Diaz events always have some controversy. I'm sure Jake will realize quite quickly that the Diaz team are probably not people that you want to.
They've already
start making fun of.
Like,
yeah, but they'll bring out Jake Shields and all the other like nutters, and they'll just start slapping folk and that. But what do you think about it? Who do you think wins it?
I don't really know. I don't know if I care. You know what
I mean? yeah.
Look, if Jake Paul's gonna be fighting MMA fighters and stuff, elites fight boxing centric fighters who have that sort of style as a base.
Yeah.
At very least, fighting guys like Ben Askren makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, Nate's going to be way smaller. He's even at lightweight, he never really had knockout power.
No.
But he's durable. Great cardio. I don't know I really don't know. Like, Jake Paul will hit harder, definitely. Probably can rock him. Yeah.
I just think, like, people always talk, it's such a Joe Rogan thing to say, like, oh, he's got such great boxing. But in reality, from recent performances and even before, I've seen nothing from Diaz that would suggest to me that he would be a successful professional boxer.
Yeah.
Sorry, but he has a decent lead hook straight right hand, a decent one. He's got a decent straight, but he needs something in front of it. Realistically,
a lead
he
slap.
Doesn't jab. Yeah, a lead slap. He doesn't really. He's got an okay jab. It's nothing like his body. Like, it's like sloppy. It's more like his boxing relies on his cardio and the threat of his jiu-jitsu game from bottom and top. So it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it's. Yeah, but in terms of Jake Paul, he's also very poor. His footwork is awful. Hand speed, he's slow. He's got a pretty poor jab. He's really one-dimensional. He can't fight on the back foot. But I think he'll probably win. He's younger. I think he'll probably
just the size disparity.
Diaz gets dropped all the time. So people are like, oh, he's got a great chin. He's been dropped 100 million times in his career. But I think if Diaz was going to win, it's going to be outworking him and then, using his cardio. But he can't have a boxing match with him, really. Do you know what I mean?
It's just
I'm also not bothered. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think the Fury loss is just like, who cares now? We all know they're not that good.
It's shown the ceiling, isn't it? Like, he's never going to be that good now, no matter what. And the sad thing is, he's probably still going to be good enough to beat a lot of former MMA fighters. So it's just tough.
Interestingly, though, this is on DAZN, and because it was last time it was on Showtime, and then before that it was DAZN, but it was someone else before that as well.
He's been a few different ones. He has done one DAZN before, I think, with Gibb.
Which is like, if it's going well, because it was DAZN, Triller, Showtime, then DAZN again. So is it like, is he actually doing decent numbers? Because if he was, Diaz is not, he's not signed to DAZN, so he's a free agent realistically. So
yeah,
have Showtime let him go? Because Showtime doesn't really have a lot going for them in terms of numbers. So if he was good, why wouldn't they keep him around?
Well, he only had a 1-fight contract with Showtime. I know that. So
I thought you had two. I thought you had a few with time. Oh, but did you re-sign after the Woodley fight for one fight?
Yeah, I think so.
But I think if they liked him, he would keep him around. I don't know.
Well, it probably became a bidding war. And the thing is, like, DAZN are associated with MMA promotions, aren't they? Like Octagon and PFL. Yeah, PFL.
Yeah.
PFL.
And they've also got that.
PFL have the connection to Jake Paul already. So that might be there.
Yeah, they might be involved in some way. And then they've also got the Misfits. Rubbish. See, do you know what annoys me when I'm trying to watch the boxing or whatever, and it comes up and there's like KSI, go away. I don't want to see that. Do you know what I mean?
Who's KSI fighting now? I can't remember the guy's name.
Fournier.
Yeah, Fournier.
Don't even get me started on these guys, right? Don't even get me started. They're absolute frauds. Like, they're all rubbish, and people need to stop pretending like they're any good, because they are not good. They're not. Like, they're not. Oh, see when? Oh no, I can't even.
Okay, here's a question for you: are there any former UFC fighters that are no longer contracted with the UFC, at least, that you would actually like to see in the boxing ring outside of Francis Ngannou?
Okay. It's just, is there anyone who's recently gone?
I mean, Aldo's doing it right now already, isn't he?
He didn't look that good, though, to be fair. I didn't think he looked.
Stevens as well, not even a professional boxer.
But this is the thing. I think MMA fighters like to overhype their boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a few good like Jack Della would be good. I think he'd be decent.
Yeah.
Fon, Yanez, they'd be good. Yeah. Yan.
Yeah.
I can't even think about former, because there's not that.
Okay,
in reality, there's not that many good boxers.
What would you think about Jorge Masvidal going to boxing?
No. No way. I mean, I don't know. He might have like an exhibition on his Game Bread thing, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
Again, when I watched the Gilbert Burns fight, I'm like, any decent level boxer would absolutely annihilate you, absolutely stick it on you and batter you. I mean, because all the options are doing is boxing other MMA fighters, and I'm not really interested in that, because I'd rather just see you fight MMA. Yeah, or fight. Just leave Roy. Right, leave Roy Jones. People need to leave him alone and start offering fights, because he will.
Evander Holyfield.
Mate, that shouldn't have been allowed.
Borderline illegal. Yeah, that was really bad.
It was elder abuse. He was nearly 60, and actually, when you're hitting the pads, I'm like, how are you even? Oh my! It was so. And Vitor Belfort is just like, I'm not taking it easy. I'm chinning you. Stuck it on.
And jumped on the ropes afterwards and was like screaming to the crowd.
Oh,
yeah, that was rough.
Is there anyone you'd like to see?
I can't think of anyone retired as well, but I mean, like, I don't know. There's definitely some like lightweights out there. Poirier would be kind of cool. I think he could have some level of success.
Yeah.
Give me some Rafael Fiziev in like 4-ounce Muay Thai.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. I don't know. Yeah. Alex Pereira.
You think it's what? He's sparring Zayli Zhang. You know, the one that fighting Joyce this weekend.
Yeah.
I've seen him box. He's a decent boxer. Yeah, he is pushing forward. He's good though, Zhang. He's good, but
he's not going to be.
Isn't it kind of worry? Yeah, Joyce is going to run through him. Yeah. Joyce is a monster. But don't you think it's kind of worrying that Ngannou's not even signed a deal? I think who's managing him? Who's managing this guy?
I think it's more like that. He has just these massive expectations, and like, because BKFC said they couldn't match it.
And they would pay him a lot of money because they pay their top fighters pretty well.
I think one of his things is like he wants to push into Africa. So I think there's some talk of PFL because they're doing the Europe series. But they're talking about doing a potential Africa series, and if so, he would run it, I think, or at least play like a major part in its expansion. So I think PFL, from what I've heard, they are the front runners, but honestly, who knows?
People are hyping him up I think people are blowing too much smoke for Ngannou. Like people, you can go fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's the biggest liar on earth. Just because he said he's going to fight you doesn't mean he is. Do you know what I mean?
Man. The stuff with Usyk was a farce.
I'm like, if you've left boxing because Tyson Fury said he's going to fight you, you're mental because he's just like he says that to everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I want to see Ngannou Wilder though. I think that would be scary. I think he'd have I think Ngannou would get chinned, but I think it would be exciting until he did.
What would you rather? Ngannou Wilder. Okay, no, if you're Ngannou's management team, what would you rather? Ngannou Wilder or like Ngannou Chisora or someone like that?
Because Chisora's like I don't know, because I could see Chisora getting chinned, but I also see Chisora just outworking Ngannou and
but I feel like
you don't want to take that risk.
Ngannou has a higher win percentage chance against Chisora, I feel like, than Wilder. I feel like he just wouldn't stand much of a chance against Wilder.
I think Wilder would tee him up pretty quickly, and he would just. And like Ngannou's a big guy, but Wilder cracks on a different level, a completely different level.
Right, let's talk about some of the fights we've got coming this weekend. Arnold Allen, Ipswich's own, is taking on former UFC featherweight champion Max Holloway, a sort of definite future Hall of Famer. Hey, there's some of the best pressure boxing in an MMA style out there.
His boxing is what people think Nate Diaz's boxing is.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But I still wouldn't want to see him in a boxing ring there.
No, I don't.
I feel like the way he boxes wouldn't translate well to boxing, if that makes any sense.
No, and he doesn't have very good head movement either.
He doesn't need it.
Yeah. But
go on. Let's talk about this fight though. It's a huge one. Allen's on a 10-fight winning streak inside the UFC, which is just crazy. Obviously Holloway has some wins against some all-time greats. Arguably picked up a win over Volkanovski, though the judges didn't see it that way. He did get pretty brutally beaten in his last fight, but prior to that, he was beating Yair Rodriguez, Calvin Kattar, Brian Ortega. Obviously, Allen is coming off the weird sort of injury victory over Kattar as well. Prior to that, knocked out Dan Hooker, pretty impressive, and a win over Sadiq Youssef, which is a really solid win. That, and because it went the full distance, you got to show that he has that range to his game that proves that he should be up there in the upper echelon of the division. I want to favor Allen, I really do. He's a nice guy. He was the first top 10 ranked fighter I ever interviewed. I tell you what, when I was interviewing him, we had a storm shut off the power halfway through the interview. The whole thing shut down. He messaged me. He was like, "Oh yeah, do you want to just like redo the whole interview?" We were already like 20 minutes in, and I was like, "Oh, go on then." So yeah, we got to redo the whole thing. Absolutely lovely guy. But I mean, Max Holloway looks like an amazing geezer as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the read? Do you see one side favor one side over the other?
Because this is over 5 rounds now. It was initially over 3 rounds. I would have happily picked Allen, but over 5 rounds, Holloway has got like disgusting cardio, and he'll just keep it on you for you. He can keep it on like what the Calvin Kattar fight. He did not slow down. If you let him keep his pace, he'll do it all day, no problem. The one thing is the damage, because at some point every good chin does crack, and he has taken an enormous amount of damage. And Arnold Allen, he can crack, he can really brawl, but I don't know. it's over the 5. I think Holloway is just, I don't know. And how, by the way, how good is that Yair Rodriguez win look now?
Yeah,
I'm just thinking about that.
but he took
But
damage in that as well. Even though he won it, he like took a
yeah,
lot of damage and then went straight into the Volk trilogy, where he took a lot of damage in that as well. So it's, I don't know. It is a very tough one to predict. I'm
yeah,
gonna sort of back Allen more just because. Thing is, I'm a fan of Max Holloway, but from a complete fan perspective, I'm just gonna be supporting Arnold Allen. I want to see another UK champion. We've got this role
yeah,
going on here, and I just think it would be really good for UK MMA in general, European MMA in general, to have yet another European title challenger, I guess, because
yeah.
I don't know if anyone's beating Volk right now. Um, even though Yair is now booked to face him. Yeah, it'll be a tough, fun fight. I give the power edge to Allen, the volume to Max. Probably the thing is maybe like the cardio to Max as well. But I feel like Allen's a really well conditioned fighter.
Yeah. Do you know, I think the issue is his last fight, I think it didn't do him any favors because
No,
we didn't really get to see him do that, So it's not his fault that
no,
happened, but it's like it's I don't know. He's not had the chance to prove it, maybe. But
yeah, he looked good for a round, but that's all you can
yeah,
take from it.
yeah, exactly.
So it's a tough one. Yeah. Also, it would just be good to have some new blood in the division because, like,
Definitely.
I mean, credit to Max Holloway, he is so good that he has forced himself to stay at the top of the division despite losing 3 times to the champion.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there is time now where I want to see the likes of Allen, Evloev, Topuria, um, Mitchell, even he's fighting Jonathan Pearson.
Yeah.
These sort of guys really breaking through and a new crop of top contenders. Because like Volk must be what pushing like 35 now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't want to pick against my guy Holloway, but yeah, we're going for Arnold Almighty Allen.
I could see it really catching fire at some points as well. I could just see this
Mm.
being complete fireworks.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Both super durable, so like they might just go blow for blow at one point.
Like the Dan Hooker finish, like they were just swinging, like and you
Oh, it
could
was
totally
just
see, oh, you could see that happening this
yeah,
time as well.
that was just insane on that crazy London card when it was just like one crazy
Insane
finish
card.
after the other. Yeah, mental. Um, I guess we'll quickly go over Billy Q, Edson Barboza in the co-main event. That's a nice little fight as well. Um, another featherweight fight as well. So there you go. That could be another contender. Billy Q. He's been around for a minute, but this is his chance to break into the top 15. He's an underdog. Sorry, no, he's a favorite. Sorry, against Barboza, who's obviously been in the game forever and fought. I think I saw something like his last 14 fights or something. He's fought 5 or 6 former UFC or Strikeforce champions. It's yeah, his
I'm
strength of
looking at his
schedule.
record now.
It's
It
insane,
is
isn't it?
crazy.
Read it
It
out.
is.
Like his last, like literally his last 14 fights or
So
so.
Bryce Mitchell, Giga Chikadze, Shane Burgos, Makwan Amirkhani, Dan Ige, Paul Felder, Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, Kevin Lee, Khabib, Benil Dariush, Gilbert Melendez, Anthony Pettis, Tony Ferguson, Paul Felder, Michael Johnson, Bobby Green,
That is
Evan Dunham,
insane.
Donald Cerrone. That is like,
That
what the hell? It is
is
so good.
it's ridiculous. Is he shot though? Is he spent? Is it Billy Q's time?
See, it could be like the Yannis situation. It could just be a bit of a jump, too
Yeah.
much of a
Yeah.
jump.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say he's washed. He has. He's taken a lot of damage in his career. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But he is just so dangerous, and you can never really count him out in this one because he's so dynamic, and he can switch anyone's lights out
Yeah.
realistically. Yeah, it is one of those potential passing of the guard fights.
Mhm.
We see it, but I don't know. These ones are always kind of difficult to tell. I suppose it's what you like. How do you see
Yeah.
this one going?
Uh, yeah, I think I favor Barboza to be honest, just because like Billy Q gets hit like so much. He hasn't got a great like takedown statistics. And like Barboza he hits so great, like just so hard, so well. But I mean, the thing is, Billy Q's a good pressure fighter, and that's kind of like the proven way of how to beat Barboza is keeping on the back foot so he can't let loose with his crazy like arsenal of kicks. But I think I'm favoring Barboza, but it's a cracking co-main event for for that card. I think that's a good place to wrap up there, to be honest. We were going to mention Till potentially going to be KFC, but maybe we'll speak about that another day when it gets officially announced. There is a good PFL card this weekend as well. Shane Burgos makes the move over to fight Olivier Aubin-Mercier. Stevie Ray's back.
The boy.
The boy.
To reclaim his rightful crown.
He's a plus 300 underdog against Nathan Schultz.
Is it? It's discrimination is what it is, really. We all know it. We all know what it is.
We will be back on Sunday, I believe. I think it'll probably be Murdo, but we'll see. It might be Mohammed, might be someone else. You never know. Drop Murdo a follow. Social media, it's Murdo_Todd. My name's Frank Bernardi. That's my name on Twitter. Obviously, subscribe to the MMA Stream. We're here every week, twice a week. Got interviews with James Lynch. I'm going to be speaking to Kazakhstan, the guy that's fighting Roberto Soldic at the upcoming ONE US card. I think that's tomorrow. Plenty of content. Subscribe, notifications on, all that stuff. Drop us a like if you enjoyed the episode, and we out.